It's Chrissy Swan live from the compound, and you're listening to the ChrissieCast, the Ask Me Anything round of episodes. Geez, I've enjoyed them. I'm loving them, and I hope that you're loving them too. And I hope you're getting a little... Do you remember in Romper Room, Miss Helena would often say, "I see you, Claire, and I see you, Jimmy," and you would just get such a thrill if she said your name. Hopefully you're getting a thrill if Rachel is reading out your name as one of the contributors on Ask Me Anything. Speaking of, welcome, Rachel.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Thank you for being such a wonderful moderator and asking all the deep and meaningful questions.
It's a pleasure to be here. Glad to be diving in.
Let's get cracking again.
Well, this one's quite personal. Beck has said, sorry for getting so personal, but how are you handling co-parenting? I'm 6 months in and I'm exhausted.
Yes, well, co-parenting is exhausting. Parenting is exhausting, particularly if you've got other, obligations and responsibilities. I hear you. I mean, do we even have time to talk about the mental load? It is extraordinary. Even today I've got, as well as earning all the money to keep everybody afloat, I need to find time to swing past and get Leo's shorts that I've popped in yesterday to be altered. I've got to get them today because I'm running out of excuses to send to his school because he doesn't have the right shorts. It is utterly exhausting. But in terms of co-parenting, it's all very new to me, so I'm working out what that looks like, to be completely honest with you. And bottom line is, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. As I said, it's very new, and I think my children are in the adjustment phase, but that's life. That is life. And I think that a little bit of discomfort is good for children at any age. And I have been guilty of ensuring that there has never been any discomfort for my children. And I think that is a mistake. I think it's a mistake to try and make everything so great.
Well, Tan Russ has asked a question here that a lot of people have asked through your Ask Me Anythings, and it's about how do you juggle everything that you do and have the energy to do it? And there was a lot of this question being brought up around parenting as well as working. How do you do it?
A lot of lists, a lot of what I call horizontal thinking. So... which I've had to learn. It is not natural for me to think in terms of what do I need for this day coming up? What do I need for this month coming up? And I've learnt how to set alarms, write reminders. All over my house are calendars that I can write on with whiteboard markers. You've got to find what works for you, because the bottom line is women in particular are responsible for a great many more people than just themselves. And it is very easy to drop the ball and miss the thing and forget the thing. And, I am guilty of that. And the more I take on, the more likelihood there is of me dropping balls. But there are systems. And again, you've just got to spend some time alone. If you can spend some time alone, you will work out what you need to make sure that you're ticking all the boxes for yourself and for everybody else. Because there is no escaping the fact that we have to do that. There's no escaping it. Because if you, in a dream state, if you go, fuck it, I'm not doing it, that doesn't work either. We absolutely are obligated to do these things for other people. And even if we don't want to, we must. So we need to work out a way to make it happen in a way that doesn't come back and bite us on the arse. If we all did what we secretly want to do sometimes and just say, fuck it all, he's not going to have his shorts. They're not going to have the right Yoplait yogurt that they love for lunch. I'm going to disconnect the direct debit for Spotify. Fuck them. They don't have to have live music, whatever, all of that stuff. If we did that in our secret moments that we want to do, that just causes us guilt, fights, all of that down the track. So you've got to choose your heart. And the fact of the matter is there is no escaping these obligations. We must do it. Nobody else can do it. Women are amazing. We can do it all. We do it all. But you need to carve out something for yourself. And that's where my walking comes in. That's where my cooking comes in. That's where my building fires comes in. That's where my washing the cupboard fronts comes in. I know it sounds so crazy, but my idea of heaven is a house with nobody in it, a mop and some fresh cloths and a bottle of cleaner. And I absolutely love it. Also containers. I like to put things in containers. This is what I mean. If you just spend a little bit of time really being honest with yourself, with your craziness, with your lady madness, because we're all mad, right? Your list of things that can bring you joy and make you physically and mentally able to give to everybody else looks very different for other people. I had my hair cut yesterday. For the first time, I made her check 2 years. I mean...
Oh, my soul.
And this is what I mean.
Ouch.
It's so easy to just forget yourself. So I had my hair cut and she was telling me that she borrowed a beautiful Jilly. She borrowed a carpet cleaner from her friend and she said it was the most wonderful few hours of her life. And I thought, this sounds like a bit of me, which is what happens when you talk to a woman at any time. You always get something where you go, oh, hang on a minute. So, of course, I went straight onto Google and I got myself a Black Friday sale carpet steamer because I realised I had the carpets done in the house that I live in, the compound, this one, and I have not washed them or anything. I'm sure Murphy's pissed there. There's blue tack. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be DNA everywhere. It'd light up like a Christmas tree if you put luminol, right? So I was like, okay, so if I spend $400 on this carpet cleaner, I got a good one. It was on sale. I get the joy of doing it myself, right, which is good for my brain. I'm doing something and I'm alone. That's my favourite combo. And it's going to save me money because in order to get someone to do that to your carpets, it's like minimum $1,000. And now I've got the machine. I'm going to do my house and then I can say to my best friend Beck, hey, do you want to use it? I can then be of service to others.
So the lady madness, it just keeps on giving.
It just keeps giving. That's the thing. Costs me $400 for this, but the benefits for me and for others are priceless.
Hey, Chrissy, Lola Girl in Melbourne has asked, being over 50 now, do you find life more liberating?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, everybody is talking about how, it's so great to be 50. And I remember when I wasn't 50, I would read that and I go, really, is it? And I am here to tell you it is. Because, the zero fuckness of it is so amazing because you've been on a journey getting to know somebody for 50 years. 50 years you've been living in your body, in your mind. And if you're anything like me, you just know yourself so well now. And it's so joyous to live with somebody that you know so well, which is yourself.
How do you feel about the phrase 50 is the new 40 and 40 is the new 30?
I don't love it for this reason. It implies that being younger is somehow better than being older. So the fact that, 50 is the new 40 means that, being older is not as good as being younger. And I vehemently disagree. Having said that, there is a risk if you don't stop the constant pulls on your time and energy, if you don't stop to reassess them and see how they really sit with you, then I think you run the risk of getting beyond 50 and being miserable. It really does involve, for 50 to be amazing, it involves a little bit of selfishness. It involves occasionally saying, I don't think that sits well with me. And you don't need to say those words to anybody else. You just need to say them to yourself. You just need to keep it all in-house. Nobody needs to know that you are carving out something for yourself. Nobody needs to know. You can just do it. In fact, I started therapy for the very first time, and I've got to go back, but
Congratulations.
Thank you. I really recommend it. Having said that, it is so hard to get in to see anybody, and it's expensive. And for those reasons and many more, I haven't been for years. But when I started, I think I did maybe 5 or 6 sessions, and it was great because I got to start every conversation with this. Is it normal to blah, blah, blah? And it was so good to ask all these questions of somebody else, impartial, just to see where I was at in terms of, is it normal? I remember the first one I asked was, is it normal that sometimes I don't want to be contactable? I just found myself everywhere I went, I was checking in with someone. I was like, I was telling somebody, a colleague, my partner at the time, one of the kids, I've just left work. I've got to go past the supermarket. I'll be home at 6.
It's like being a kid all over again.
I just didn't want to do it. Not all the time. There are times that, that's fine. But it was really getting on my tits that someone knew where I was all the time. And that, when I said to him, is it okay? Is it normal that I just want to disappear sometimes? I just want to be nowhere sometimes. And he's like, yeah, of course it is. And that is when I started to walk, actually, because I thought, how can I disappear but in a palatable way? And you can say, I'm going for a walk, and then that's the end of the conversation. I don't then have to say in 20 minutes, I'm around the corner. I'm walking past the servo. I'm here. It's like you get 2 hours under the umbrella of I'm going for a walk, where you can go and do whatever you want. And look, I'm not saying that I was doing anything untoward, but just to be walking in the world was huge for me.
Well, lots of people have questions about your walking, and this one, just a bit of an icebreaker. Anne Marie Lee wants to know, what is your favourite walking outfit or shoes, and what else do you have to take with you on your walk?
This is genius. So I love activewear. I love it. And I don't care about the articles that say activewear is not like leggings aren't pants and whatever. Could not give a shit what people think. I like it.
Can I interrupt just for one moment?
Sure.
Have you heard that camel toes are the new it thing?
No.
It genuinely, it was like the Gigi Hadid or someone like that, and they're like, it's in.
The camel toe is in.
The camel toe is in.
Good Lord. Well, good news for anyone who's got a camel toe. I do not.
Muff knuckle the house down.
Muff knuckle. You know what? The man version of the camel toe is the moose knuckle, and I love that so much. It's very thrilling to see a moose knuckle in the wild. Anyway, I wear activewear most days. Today I'm in jeans because I'm, putting in an effort. But I wear activewear and Hoka runners or Hoka. I don't know how you pronounce them, but I wear them exclusively every single day. And this is not a paid whatever. I pay good money for them. I find them on sale, and I wear them every day. And it was a game changer for me to do this, because when I was starting my escape from a life that I wanted to escape from, I needed to be ready to go at a moment's notice. So my first commitment 4 years ago, when I started my breakdown and rebuild, my renovation, was every single day, the very first thing I did was put on my runners and my activewear. And that remains. I thought it would wear off. I thought once I was in the swing of things that I would be able to, wear exercise gear and change out of it. But that has not been the case. I am ready to go at a moment's notice. Even with my jeans today, I'm doing the Jerry Seinfeld of my Hokas.
Oh, love.
Because there may be a 20-minute window where I can walk to the post office and pick something up for the kids. Or there might be a 15-minute window where, I can walk somewhere. And that's the other thing. My walking isn't just a selfish thing. Sometimes it is. But more often than not, it involves, as most things do for women, an act of service in there. So I've got to go to Kmart for a click and collect for a school sports carnival for my daughter. It's a yellow T-shirt and some yellow streamers, whatever. Anyway, I will walk there. Even though, the Kmart thing's got nothing to do with me. It's an act of service. But to get it, I'm sneaking in a little bit of me. And that has worked for me so well. Oh, and what else do I need? Obviously, my bum bag. Mm-hmm. I wear my belly bag every single day for every reason. In the front of it is my P.O. box key. So in case I'm on my walk and I'm in the vicinity of my P.O. box, I'll go in and check that. I always have a backpack on my back, usually empty. Sometimes I come home with an empty backpack, but I just never know where I'm going to end up. And sometimes I end up in like a funny little jam shop and I want to buy a jam. And where am I going to put it? Because I've got to have my hands free. Put it in the backpack.
That is the best life hack I've ever heard, Chrissy Swan.
Always carry an empty backpack. Always.
Love that. All right, we need to ask a really important question here. Joanna D'Souza wants to know, what moment in time would you go back and revisit? Would you ever do the birth thing over again?
No, I feel like that is seared on my memory. I can astral
You don't need
travel.
to revisit.
Yeah, I can astral travel right back to those moments. I don't need to. I tell you, I'd love to see my birth. That is a very significant moment that I have not seen. Yes, I would love to see that. I want to see what Patty Swan looked like at that time. I want to check her mood.
Do you think it'd change your relationship with her now?
It could. Yeah, it could. Yeah. God, I've only just thought of that. Wouldn't that be fascinating? Would you love to see your birth?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with births. Show me any births, I'm down. It's weird. It's an obsession, but
do you watch that show One Born Every Minute or something?
Absolutely. Yeah. I follow a lot of Instagram accounts. I have a specific Instagram called Wombbmate that I go on, and that's where all the birthing videos come through, so that they don't come through on my normal Instagram feed.
Which brings me, this is a very neat segue. You have come into my life, and it feels like, it's just magic. Because
thank you for birthing me.
Let's go back and have a look at me birthing you. I've always been fascinated in the concept of surrogacy. And I always thought for this podcast, I really want to find somebody that's been a surrogate, because for me, it is the ultimate selfless act. And as selfless as I am, I've always thought I just couldn't do that. I just don't think I could find it in myself to carry a baby and give it to somebody else, and you have arrived in my life and you have been a surrogate.
I have.
I just think it's the most extraordinary thing, and the tables are going to be turned, Rachel, and I'm going to be asking you many, many questions about that in an upcoming podcast on the ChrissieCast.
Best thing I've ever done.
Really?
Other than meeting you, of course.
Oh, of course. Don't tell me anything else. Just keep your powder dry for the full deep dive. Well, there you have it. Are you getting the answers you require? God, I hope so. That's it for another episode of Ask Me Anything, the very special series me and Rachel are putting together for you on the ChrissieCast live from the compound. We'll be back with more as soon as I've had a little rest and a breather.